Girl, if you've been trying to force an outcome, overwhelmed, stressed, trying to make something happen that's out of your control, and feeling stuck in your desire, then this is your reminder to surrender. I promise you, when you release control and trust that things are already working out, that is when everything will start to shift and things will start flowing effortlessly. Hello, my lovely goddesses. I am so happy to be back with you all. I took a good little break. I'm feeling so restored, rested, and I have so much more wisdom to share with you all. This video is going to be so transformative. I'm so excited to talk about surrender because it is just so beautiful. It is so important for our feminine energy, and this is the answer that everyone wants to know. How to go from stressing to releasing control and actually experiencing their desires come to them instead of forcing them to happen when they're not in alignment. So let's just get right into it because this is a good one. So what is surrender? The textbook definition of surrender is to cease resistance, to yield to the power of another, to agree to stop fighting against something or someone. Now, this is commonly associated with people throwing up their hands when they're cornered, or also like in war when they hold up the white flags to signify that they no longer wish to fight. But what I don't want you to think is that surrender means defeat, or that you're accepting defeat, because that is the opposite of what we're going to be talking about today. Surrender is literally a super strength. Now, in our society and just us humans in general, how we operate, it is so hard for us to give up control. It really is. Like, we want the illusion that we have everything under control, so we will cling to control by literally threads just to feel safe when literally we are stressed, overwhelmed, and things are literally falling apart. But as long as we can feel like we're in control, then we feel like we're safe. But surrendering is accepting that we do not have to force things to happen, and we don't have to delude ourselves into thinking that we're in control of every little thing, and we accept things as they are. And I say that that is a strength because it is so hard for most people to do. But once you tap into that, your feminine energy will thrive, your life will flow so effortlessly, and it will just be a beautiful journey to experience. So this is where I want us to shift. One thing I realized on my journey is that a lot of the times I'm in my own way. That masculine energy of forcing things to happen and just needing to be in control so much was creating unnecessary tension, resistance, strain, and overwhelm that honestly could have been avoided. And I realized that when I'm operating this way, I am putting limitations and tight constraints on how God is opening up doors and how he's going to bless me. Because if I want it my way, then I'm kind of putting things in a box. And sometimes we have to understand that our way is usually not the best way. Like, a lot of times it's not even the easiest way, it's just the way that feels safest. There is a path that has the least resistance, and I like to call this the path of least resistance. When you start surrendering, you start walking in a way that is just effortless. It just flows, it's aligned, it's simple, it's connected to your intuition, your body, your relationship with God, and you listen to the nudges and you flow with life. You allow life to work for you instead of you working for life. Surrendering is letting go the need to control outcomes and embracing the flow of life as it unfolds. Accepting what is, finding peace in the unknown, trusting that everything is aligning for your greater purpose, even when you're experiencing grief or challenges. When you let go of force and trust that things are working out for you, you naturally align with ease, opportunities, and divine timing. And that's what the path of least resistance is. It's choosing the route that feels the most natural, effortless, and in alignment with your highest good. Now, I know you're wondering, how do I find the path of least resistance? How do I flow in it? Let's get into it. In 3 simple steps or categories. align, flow, and allow. This will help you maneuver into that path. And I wouldn't even say maneuver. Let's say flow. You will flow into the path of least resistance, and you will see doors open, blessings, yes, everything and more. It's just so exciting. So let's get into number 1, align. The first one, align, is literally going to be the foundation, because you want to make sure that you are in alignment before you make any steps, because you don't want to just be flowing into danger or flowing into something that's just going to hold you back or keep you stuck for a longer time than necessary. So we want to make sure that we are super connected to our intuition and our body. That is going to help us so much when determining the path of least resistance. Your intuition will never lie to you. And part of listening to your intuition is connecting deeper with God. God will never lead you somewhere you're not supposed to be. You can always trust him. And your intuition will give you cues and signs when something is in alignment or when something is not in alignment. And usually when something is good for you, you'll feel excited, you will feel light, you will feel peace. It will feel like something that's connected to a greater purpose, and you will feel some sense of ease. Now, at the same time, our intuition will definitely lead us to do things that are out of our comfort zone. So you may experience some type of fear of the unknown, but I don't want you to confuse excitement, fear of the unknown with fear because it's something that's actually dangerous. Like if you feel heaviness, if you feel like there's something deep in your gut that doesn't feel good, if there's a lot of friction and resistance in your body, in your heart, your mind, and your spirit, then that's usually something that's not aligned for you. It's very important to learn the difference and really connect deeper within yourself, your body, so you can know what these things mean, what they are, because this is like a compass. This is a guide. It's going to help you get on the right path. And your intuition will also protect you from abusers, predators, toxic people, toxic situations, things that will come to detour you from your path. So it's very important to listen to your intuition. God speaks to you through your intuition. And what they say, a woman's intuition never lies. Also, it is so important that you trust that things are always working out for you. Even when you can't see how, even when it doesn't feel like it, you have to have this deep sense of trust that you are where you're supposed to be. This is important, that when you are in alignment, you trust the process. You have to have patience. And also, you have to let go of fear of the outcome. You can't try to predict the how and just, get over consumed with how things are going to play out, because then that's where you bring that box out and you put limitations on God and the way that he moves and how he wants to bless you. So you have to let go of the outcome. You have to let go of the fear of trying to predict everything and trust that it's all working out for your good and listen to your intuition. Number 2 is flow. Flow over force. That's our motto. We want to enter the state of ease in taking inspired action. We're not just taking action because we feel like we have to. We're not just forcing things to happen. We're not hustling and bustling. We are taking divine and aligned actions because we listen to our intuition. We have that foundation. We have a sense of what we're supposed to do. So when we have that clarity and that peace, then we move. Y'all feel me? This is where you follow what feels energizing, expansive, and natural. You take the steps that present themselves to you. When the solution emerges, you take action. You don't wait and contemplate and doubt and just procrastinate. You move when you feel the inspiration. I can give an example like with making content. I make content that is in alignment with how I feel and what I experience. If I get a creative idea and it's in alignment with what I have going on and how I feel, or even if it came out of nowhere, if it is on my heart to share, I'm going to share in that instant. I'm going to record. I'm going to get it out. I'm going to move because it is in alignment. And all of the videos that I recorded because it was in alignment with something I recently experienced or a creative idea that just came to me and I did it, it went viral. I kid you not. If I wait too long to, do it, or I do something that just doesn't feel aligned at all, but I feel like, oh, this might be an interesting thing to talk about, but I'm literally just forcing it. It doesn't feel natural to me. Maybe it's popular, I don't know. Those usually don't do well. So you want to move when it feels natural, when it feels like it makes sense, when it feels energizing, expansive, but don't lean too much on when it makes sense, because like I said before, your intuition will tell you to do some things that logically don't make sense sometimes. So feminine energy is not about logic. It is about your body. It is about flow. It's about trusting God. It's about surrender. It's about intuition. Logic really doesn't exist here. So I'm not going to say like it has to make sense. Now, I don't want y'all to get confused with moving when you get the inspiration with rushing. Don't just start rushing into things or just doing it because you feel a urge to. Make sure that urge, that nudge is divinely aligned. And if you need more clarity, feel free to ask God for signs and confirmation. But I just don't want you to get into a place where you're just stuck. Faith without works is dead. So you definitely want to move when it's time to move. But don't force it. If it doesn't feel right, don't push it. And if things are just not aligning, if it's not working, then that may be a sign to take a step back and recalibrate, re-strategize, recenter, get back grounded, get back in that stillness, in that space where you can really receive clarity, inspiration, and a solution. Number 3 is to allow. This is where you staying present and open is going to be so important. When you are open to receiving, you are open to new opportunities. You have to really trust the process and not resist change. This is going to be the part where you start seeing things shift and unfold. And if you want to hold on to the past or just to your comfort and safety too much, then you may miss the opportunities for new things to come into your life. So allowing is going to be very important, and you're going to want to be as patient as you can because things unfold exactly when they are meant to. You cannot force things to shift. You can't. But what you can do is try your best to be in alignment and flow and be open to receiving and open to different unexpected avenues and outcomes, because God moves in mysterious ways. And when you do not hold too tight on the how, you are just amazed at how these things really happen. Like, it's always better than what you could have predicted. It's always more beautiful than you could have imagined. Allowing is when all of the things that we talked about come together. So you're surrendering to the process, you are trusting, you are releasing control, you are releasing your attachment to the how and to how you expect it to play out. Like, this just brings everything together. And when you are in alignment, then this part comes natural. So, quick testimony. Recently, I really had to remind myself to surrender and just trust God, trust the process, take a step back. And that is why I haven't really been showing up as much on social media. I had to take a break. I was feeling very overwhelmed, very just kind of stressed by my present circumstances. And also I was feeling a little bit sick. Like, it was just a lot going on. I was waiting on certain breakthroughs and new opportunities to emerge, and I just felt like I was in this energy of longing for something to happen. And whenever you shift into like a longing type of feeling or a desperation, or you know, just wanting something to happen and you feel like it's not, that is the sign to surrender. And at that point, I basically just said, you know what, this is the moment in which I intentionally decide to shift into my feminine energy, my rest, receiving, flow, and surrendered state. This is where I thrive. This is where I hear God's voice the clearest, and this is where I usually get my next step. So as soon as I decided to do that, I started praying. I started, you know, relaxing, taking care of my body, resting, taking a step back instead of forcing myself to push through and keep posting. I knew that wasn't a line for me. I literally just gave it to God. I said, you know what? I give this burden to you. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to consume myself with it, and I'm going to pour my energy into things that actually feel good for my body and allows me to rest my nervous system. And I kid you not, within 24 hours, the solution emerged. The blessing came. The breakthrough arrived. And all I could do was just praise God. And I was just like, I just love like connecting to my feminine energy, because it allowed me to understand all of these truths that just help you thrive as a woman. And it is in our divine innate nature to receive. The doing aspect of life is more connected to masculine energy, and obviously we have some masculine, like you need to be able to do things to make things happen, so we can't just ignore our masculine completely. But operating in your feminine energy is very important for you to feel connected to who you are and your purpose, and to just thrive in life. So you can't neglect your feminine. You cannot, because that's who you are. You have to nurture it. And I just realized as long as I am surrendering and I am trusting and I am flowing, then I am receiving blessings and open doors all the time. Like, this is a way of life for me. And this is not just a one-off blessing, or, you know, just something that happens every now and then. When I am aligned in this energy, it is blessing after blessing after blessing. Yes after yes after yes. Open door after open door after open door. I kid you not. Life is just good. Like, it's amazing, and I just love this experience. And what I love about the path of least resistance is that it doesn't ignore the aspect of your masculine energy or the doing that you have to do to get through life. What it does is, instead of placing that doing into feeling exhausted or burnt out, or doing things out of fear or just pressure, panic, desperation, you start doing things out of alignment and inspiration. And now is divine inspiration or inspired action versus just doing, working, hustling. You are taking the necessary actions that are placing you in the proper path for your highest good. Now, I'm not here to sell y'all a dream, okay? You're going to face challenges. And please understand, when things start feeling overwhelming, when things start changing, you're going to have to consciously decide to re-enter that state of surrender. As you unlock new levels, things are going to start shifting, and it may feel like you're experiencing many obstacles, or things may feel like struggle or delay, but that is just the old version of you shedding. Like, think about it. When your skin purges, you go through this ugly phase, like your skin is purging and everything, because that fresh skin is emerging. And that's what happens as you are becoming the highest version of yourself. That old version of you must shed off. It must. So when it feels tough, keep on flowing, keep on surrendering, keep on trusting and believing that it will work out, because I promise that it will. And do not fall into the temptation to become superwoman and figure everything out and fix everything on your own when you feel like these obstacles are coming, because you're just going to remain in a state of overwhelm and you're going to create more resistance instead of just allowing things to be. Like, sometimes you have to just let things fall apart. You have to let the purge happen. Like, you just got to embrace it truthfully. So let it purge and allow the new version of you and your new reality to emerge. Before we wrap up this video, I just want to give y'all a quick inner work journal prompt. I want you to think about, what is something you're struggling to surrender right now? And write down, if you fully trusted that everything you desire is already here, how would you feel? What actions or inactions would you take from that place of trust? Take a deep breath, let go, and allow things to align in your favor, because it's already done. Y'all, it's already done. If you have a desire in your heart, believe it, act as if you've already received it, and you shall have it, okay? I hope today's video resonated well with you all, because this was truly an inspired action for me to take. It's been on my heart to share. Surrender has been a constant theme, and one of my girls actually told me today that she saw a breakthrough and that things were starting to unfold for her effortlessly when she finally decided to surrender. And I have been telling her over and over, let it go, surrender. But she finally chose to do it, and once she did, she saw breakthrough happen immediately. So I want you all to know, everything I share to you is coming from experience, it's coming from research, science, God, my own experiences, the women in my life, the girls that I coach experiences, and I just want you all to live your best life, the easiest, just effortless, beautiful life that you could possibly have. And if you need assistance on your journey, if you need more in-depth coaching where I can really, you know, dig deep in your personal story, then I do have some sessions available for one-on-one coaching. And also I do have my live course where you can do this alongside other women. So whichever, you know, floats your boat. Also, I do have a group as well. I'm going to link that below. But I have a cute little support community group for all the like-minded women to just share like their discussion posts and comments and just uplift each other and just be there for each other. So if that's something you want to do, I have that available as well. And that is free. It's just a cute little safe space and community for us women. So with that being said, this has come to a natural end until we meet again. Love y'all.